Destiny's latest event added some Bungie classics into Destiny 2's latest update. From the battle rifle to skulls, ghosts, and birthday parties, today we're going to analyze every new Halo edition added to Destiny in Bungie's 30th anniversary event. So before we jump into this, it's worth noting that Bungie can't straight up copy the old designs they created, as 343 and Microsoft now own the rights to Halo. But that doesn't mean that they can't make their own spin-offs and resemble the content they created many years ago, so you will recognize them, it's just not going to look the exact same. Take the Magnum for example. The thing looks a little different, it's got that bottom circular motion going on there, but you can definitely tell it's supposed to be a CE Magnum. Also, for Halo fans and non-Destiny fans who are a bit confused, this is a part of Bungie's 30th anniversary event in Destiny 2. What they did was create some armor, weapons, and cosmetics to celebrate their past games like Halo, Marathon, and Myth. So that's where all of this is coming from if you were a bit confused, but let's first start with the weapons. So the CE Magnum is called Forerunner. It's a sidearm, and its description says a new chapter for an old legend. Its custom perk is Full Stop, oversized sidearm with extended range and heavy caliber rounds. Fires full auto with increased rate of fire and deals increased precision damage to unshielded targets. Now I'll read the lore for this in a little bit, but you can see it's basically the CE Magnum minus that bottom half circle going on right there. Here is the lore from the Forerunner weapon. In case you didn't know, some weapons in Destiny have their own lore tabs, which is like a little story that go along with them. Banshee 44 considered the relic on his workbench and the questions on his mind. One stood out above the rest. Who are you meant for? The form of the weapon suggested an oversized sidearm, a secondary weapon for a giant's hands. The function presented more so as an anti-material rifle. Looks to be 12.7mm. It's like they were making a hand cannon but didn't know it yet. Banshee wondered further about the warrior who could wield such a thing. His attention drifted momentarily, drawn by Shax's voice booming nearby. Huh. Yeah, a Titan. Maybe. And a big one too. The weapon was laced with fractures from a life of fire and a sleep of ice, and perhaps other, more exotic stress. Banshee wished he could have heard the relic's voice, but he knew from earlier examination that it had fired its last round. What a last round it must have been. The Guardian who brought it to him might be willing to try a shot, untroubled by the risk of a rapid, unplanned dismantle. But Banshee knew it wouldn't last through a single magazine. Beside the relic lay a stripped-down breech light. He would adapt it for a larger round, custom casings and handguard, sensorium link scope, and he had other ideas to try as well. It would be an homage, an offering to the creators of the original relic, a legacy. With that satisfying thought in mind, the gunsmith went to work. Next up we have the battle rifle in Destiny called the BXR-55 Battler. A treasured competition piece from a bygone era. The battle rifle is one of the most well-known weapons when a player thinks about Halo, and I'm glad Bungie got to bring this one back with this update. After playing around with it just for a little bit, it seems to resemble the Halo 2 and 3 BRs, obviously more close to the games that Bungie made compared to 343. We next have the Energy Sword, Half-Truths. A fine blade, but seems like something is missing. So this one you can see the obvious thing that is missing is the other half of the Energy Sword. In terms of Destiny, it basically works like normal swords do, but it does have its own perk called Eager Edge. Gain increased sword lunge distance immediately after switching to this weapon. And you can see it's a pretty big distance from this clip right here with my friends. And the last Halo-themed weapon would be the Focus Rifle from Halo or the Retraced Path in Destiny, which is a trace rifle. An early prototype that brought the potential for future trace rifles into sharper focus. So it kind of sounds like that trace rifles in Destiny were based off of weapons like this that Bungie made in the past, like in Halo Reach. Let's next move on to other Halo references found in some other places like the new armor. On the Titan piece there's a couple of noticeable changes. You got the cool Bungie 30th anniversary logo plastered on the Titan mark, but up near your shoulders you can see some remnants of a needler. Now, I don't believe the Hunters have anything Halo related, or it isn't too noticeable. Some people were talking about ODST pants or something like that, but the Warlock is definitely the most noticeable. You can see their arms here definitely represent the Arbiter. And the Bond has a Halo ring floating around it. As for other places with the Halo ring, there's also a new Ghost where you can see the ring floating around. Next up we got a Master Chief shader. So shaders in Destiny change the way that your character looks with colors and certain patterns. Think of it like Halo Infinite coatings, but much different, and you probably don't have to pay as much. A new shader added in this update has the colors of none other than 117 himself, the Master Chief. Of course, this will look a little better if you wear armor that resembles what Chief wears, but you can see that the colors here on my Guardian represent him very well. Grunt Birthday Party is a classic skull effect in the Halo games. If you have it active and then get a headshot, the enemy will cheer and confetti bursts out of their head. Destiny 2 has already had a Grunt Birthday Party Easter egg back in the last Wish raid with the Wish Wall, but now you can take that festive fun anywhere you want with the Sweaty Confetti mod. Just slap it on your weapon and boom, you're good to go. The Ghost is a classic Halo vehicle. Smash through and splatter your enemies to your liking and blast them with the cannons if you don't want to run over them. In Destiny 2, we have a new Sparrow which resembles this a little bit. They of course had to change some things around and they can't copy it, but you definitely can tell this is meant to be a Ghost. Same thing going on here with this new ship and the Warthog. In the Eternity Social Patrol area, you can find ancient skulls scattered around the play space. Now these are instance-based, so you might not see them if another player already picked one up, but each of them will grant a text string Easter egg at the bottom left referencing a past Bungie game. Here's all of those if you like to pause and read them for yourself, but of course the skulls themselves are throwbacks to Halo skulls from the Bungie era of the franchise. Back in the day, if you found these in the campaign, they gave you cool abilities and modifiers like the Grunt birthday party that we mentioned, and also features like no HUD and increased damage from enemies. Halo Reach had an armor lock ability. If activated, it would make the player invincible in this animation until it completed. A new emote in Destiny 2 is the new armor lock. Another emote resembles the Ragdoll death animation from games like Halo 3. Whenever you jumped off a map, you always got this goofy looking animation, and this is what inspired this emote. Some players also think the Dead Man's Tale ornament, this new one right here in the shop, resembles the DMR from Halo. Now I'm not sure if that 100% was the intent here, it kinda looks like it, so I thought I'd throw it in anyway. Alongside that, another ornament is the Galahorn ornament, the SPNKR, which could be a play off the Spanker rocket launcher. If you get the catalyst for the Forerunner CE Magnum by reaching level 16 with Xur, you will be able to drop Halo Frag grenades. And yes, it appears they work the same way as they do in the old games. First up, it's a frag grenade, so it does damage, and second, you can grenade jump to your heart's content. And the last one here might be the coolest of them all. On the last step for the Forerunner sidearm quest, you can find the pistol in a Cryopod, which is pretty epic. You can definitely tell this is a reference to the Master Chief. Anyway, that's all I got for today's video. A ton of Halo references in the new Destiny 2 30th anniversary update. If you'd like to see some more Destiny and Halo mysteries just like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching. My name's Evade, and I'll catch you all in the next video.